Alrighty, so today I am going to be watercolor painting a red Solo cup. That is correct. I use a red Solo cup to hold all of the water for every single time that I'm watercolor painting, so I figure I should probably do a little bit of a, what's it called? I should probably do a little bit of a, oh, it's slipping my memory right now. What do I want to say? I want to do a little bit of a remembrance. No, that's not the right word. I want to do a little bit of a, oh, what is the right word? Not a ceremony, not a remembrance, kind of just like, I guess, an epitome. That still doesn't feel like the right word to describe what I want to do today. But today, I do suppose I kind of just want to honor the red Solo cup for doing some good service, both at college parties as beer pong cups, and both for artists as good water brushes. Whether you're acrylic painting, whether you're watercolor painting, whether you're oil painting, whatever you're doing, red Solo cups are great at doing it. But I do think without further ado, it is now time for me to go ahead and introduce the utensils that I'm going to be using to watercolor paint the red Solo cup in today's video. I am first off going to be sketching the red Solo cup with my Pencil Graph Gear 500 mechanical pencil in 0.5mm lead. Then if I mess up any of the lines or anything like that kind of thing, I'm going to be using my Tombow Mononoke 3.8 mechanical eraser. And then after that, I'm actually going to go ahead and watercolor paint the red Solo cup in today's video. I'm going to be using my Winsor & Newton mobile watercolor set in today's video, along with some Creative Fundamentals brushes. These are the cheapest brushes I could get, and they work pretty well, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. And then once I'm done watercolor painting the red Solo cup, I am then going to go over all of the lines once again with my Uniball Signo UM153 pen from Japan. Yeah, I do think without further ado, though, I'm going to go ahead and move all of this stuff off of the paper, and now I'm going to go ahead and actually start drawing the, red Solo cup that I'm going to be watercolor painting in today's video, you know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and get some lead out, you know what I'm saying? And let's go ahead and get right to it. So, I think first off, I'm just going to go ahead and start with the top of the cup. I'm just going to hold this kind of thing. There's no water in this right now or anything like that. I'm going to put some water in it later once I actually start watercolor painting, but I think I'm just gonna kind of hold it at like this angle. I'm like right here kind of thing. So I know the angle y'all are seeing this cup at is not the same angle I'm seeing this cup at, but I think this is the angle I kind of want to draw it at in all honesty. So I'm gonna kind of go like this, I think, and I'm gonna try to draw the cup as big as I can. Just like that kind of thing. I'm thinking that's just about the angle I want. And then just taking a look at it once again, it just kind of curves around. Just kind of like that. And then of course there's the inside of the cup as well, which I need to remain aware of. So that kind of, whoopsies, that kind of just starts like right here. Just like that. And then there is indeed a lip to the cup as well, as we can see. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that real quick as well. So that's just going to come down just slightly like that kind of thing. Just slightly like that. And then that's just going to come down like that. I'm hoping that this page is big enough because I'm very happy with how this is turning out so far. I'm pretty happy with the drawing so far. So I definitely don't want to redo it. But if the page isn't big enough, honestly, I'm just going to have it go off the page because I really like how the top of the cup, turned out. I'm actually very happy with that. Let's go ahead and start drawing the actual portion of the cup, though, I think. So next up, we've got just the actual red cup portion of the cup. This is all white. The rest of it, though, is red. So, of course, I need to start doing the rest of it. I think first off, what I need to do is I need to kind of have this come down, I think, like right about there kind of thing. I'm going to go and do the same thing on the other side, like right about there, I want to say. And then I need to go ahead and just have that sweep across. Just like that. And then that's just going to kind of tuck in a little bit. I think I might, oh, where is it? I might grab my ruler. Oh, there's my ruler. I might grab my ruler because I think my ruler is going to make this a lot more simple. I have my Sakura Otationary 15 centimeter ruler with me today. It's clear. It's very helpful. I ain't gonna lie. I really like this ruler. I've used it once or twice off video so far, and I think once on video. But let's just go ahead and just have that come in a little bit. And just taking a look at this as well. How long is that? It's not super long by any means. So I'm just going to have that come down a little bit, but let's see. So that is like... This is very much like straight up and down kind of thing, and so I think I want to go in at like that angle, I think. So let's kind of have it come down like that. I think to right there should be good, and then let's do the same thing but opposite on the other side. Is that right? Let's right about there, I think. That's not quite. This is very straight actually, so I'm actually going to erase that line. And I'm going to go at it again. A little bit more of an angle. There we go. I'm much more happy with that. Alrighty. And I'm going to have that come down a little bit more. And I'm going to go ahead and connect these two up. Just like that. There we go. Perfect. I'm actually really happy with how that turned out. Alrighty, so next up we've got, so this is the second rib right here. So we've got the first rib, the second rib, and then now we've got to do another one right under here. But first off, I need to go ahead and just kind of mark where I want those to go. Just like that kind of thing. And then now I've got to go ahead and do the other ribs. I'm just going to keep the same angle. The angle doesn't change, so I'm going to keep the same angle that I have for this line, for this rib, for the other ribs as well. So I'm just going to move that over. And that's a shorter rib, so it's only going to go down about that far, I think. And I'm going to keep the same one for this side, and I'm going to move it over a little. Let's see, just like that, and move that over just a little bit. And just have that come down as well. And I think that should be good just like that. I think this one's a little bit too long. Just like that. I think that should be all good. And then now we've got the longest rib. This is the really, really, really long rib right here. And that goes in just a little bit more as well. So let's just have that go in just slightly like that, you know what I'm saying? And on this side as well. And then I'm just going to keep the same angle once again and just have that come over. And this is going to be the longest one. This is the one that's really going to determine whether this cup is actually going to fit on the page or not. I'm really not sure if it's going to, but we're going to find out. I think I made this rib too long, but you know what? I don't really care. I'm not really going for the most realistic drawing in the world. That is for sure. So it is what it is. I'm not really terribly worried about it. That should be good. Just like that, I think. So that should be all good. And then now we've got to do another rib, and then there's one more rib after that, and then it's just the bottom of the cup right there. And the bottom of the cup, this is at a different angle, so I'm gonna have to remember to make sure I do that at a different angle and everything like that kind of thing. But let's go ahead and do the next rib. Just go in just a little bit like that kind of thing. And yep, that should be the second to last rib. That should be the second last rib. All right, cool, cool. And this one's slightly shorter as well. So let's just keep that same angle and then just have that come down. Man, this ruler is great. I love this ruler. And I think I'm just going to have it go down maybe a little bit further. Just like that kind of thing. Keep that same angle, move it over. Oh, I messed that up. No, I think I'm definitely making this cup a little bit too tall. I think this cup is not meant to be this tall, but that is what it is. I'm not really going for the most realistic red solo cup in the world. It is what it is kind of thing. It is what it is. This is just a kind of off the bat drawing. I'm not using a template or anything like that kind of thing. I'm just doing this all by hand. So if it's a little bit too tall, it is what it is. But yeah, it's definitely a little bit too tall. I might actually shorten this a little bit because I don't like how tall it is right now. I think I'm going to shorten it like right there, and I'm actually going to have that in right there because actually I kind of want it to be a little bit proportional, and this just feels way too tall for a red solo cup right now. So I'm actually going to shorten this a little bit more, and then I'm going to have that be where the rib ends, just like that. I definitely made this rib up here a little bit too much, but it is okay. And then let's have that now. So that rib stretches out and it hits almost where that is. So have that go to, ooh, I think that should be good. And that should be good right there. And then just kind of freehanding this. Let's see where that is. All right, so that's right there. I think that should be good right there. Is that about the same? Almost the same. It's almost the same. I think it should be fine. Oh wait, and this needs to be now flat. Kind of. Kind of flat. There we go. All right, perfect. I am going to make this flatter just so it looks more like a red Solo cup, I guess. No, I don't know. And then I think one more thing I need to do. Let's see, I'm just going to redraw that real quick. I think one more thing I want to do before I actually start watercolor painting is to around all of the edges. So I'm just going to erase all of the edges, and I'm just going to round all of the edges because I think it's going to look a lot better with rounded edges. So I'm just going to go and do that real quick. There we go, just like that. And I'm just going to go and round all the edges real quick. There we go, just like that. And overall, what are my thoughts on this cup? I think it turned out pretty well. I'm just going to stand up real quick and just take a look at it. No, I am pretty happy with how this cup turned out. I ain't gonna lie. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. Well, I do think without further ado, it is now time for me to decide whether I want to put a face on this cup or not. Or do I just literally want to draw a red Solo cup or just watercolor paint a red Solo cup? I think I kind of want to do the latter. I think I just want to watercolor paint a red Solo cup. I don't think I want to put a monster on this or anything like that kind of thing. Because normally, if I was just drawing a red Solo cup, I'd be like, all right, yeah, cool, I'm gonna put a face on this and everything like that kind of thing. Make it a little bit funny. I don't think I want to do that in today's video. I think I literally just want to just have a red Solo cup right here. I think that's just what I want to do kind of thing. I don't think I want to add any faces or anything like that. I think I like it as is. Although I am still very tempted to add a face. But I think it's going to kind of ruin what I'm going for. I'm kind of going for like, I don't know. My sense of humor is messed up. I just think like, just photos of like random crap, just boom, it's just random crap, and that's it. That's just the photo. I think that stuff is hilarious, and that's kind of what I'm going for. And if I added a face to it, I think it would kind of take away from that. So I think without further ado, it's now time for me to go ahead and get to watercolor painting. Now I think the real challenge with this is going to be doing the white up here. And I think with the white, I'm just going to be going for a really light gray. I think that's really the way to do it because I don't want it to just be paper color kind of thing. I think the way I'm going to have to do this is I'm going to have to go for a really light gray. The rest of it, on the other hand, I'm just going to go for red. I'm not going to do any color mixing or anything like that kind of thing. And maybe if I can, I'll try to add some like darker shades around the ribs, maybe just a little bit of black around the ribs or something like that kind of thing. Maybe I'll try to do that. So I might go through and just do the tiniest bit of black first or something like that. And then do the red over that. I think that might be what I end up doing. I think that's going to probably be best. So I think I'm probably going to do that. Without further ado, I'm going to go and take a sip of water, and then I'm going to go ahead and put some water in my red Solo cup. Is that good? That should be plenty. Go and put the lid back on this so just in case I knock it down, it doesn't spill everywhere. Got my computer on my desk after all, don't want to be messing nothing up. And let's go ahead and get my watercolor set all opened up. And I think I'm going to go ahead, and I think I'm just, for this portion, I think I'm going to be using this brush right here. Although I might switch it up later on and use a bigger brush. And I am going to grab this coaster real quick and try to have that hold up my watercolor set, because if I don't, then it's going to fall over, which gets very annoying very quickly. I am going to move it over like this though, and I'm going to move my brushes over here, and I'm going to go ahead and wet my brush. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get right to watercolor painting, you know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and just do that, and I'm just going to go ahead and try to get a very nice gray, and I think I wiped all of that off. I did indeed wipe all of that off. I wiped all of that off again. let's go with that. And I think I'm going to just do wet on dry today. I don't think I really want to go for anything too complex, but of course I'm also going to be doing wet on wet later on in the video just because the paper is going to be more wet. I kind of want these to go this way. But I'm trying to make the inside of the cup a lot lighter than the border, just simply because I don't want them to look too similar, if I possibly can. There we go. But I do think what I'm going to do is we can see on the inside of my cup right here, there's like a bunch of like splotches and everything. I am going to try to add some little splotches and whatnot. I don't know how these are turning out. I don't know. I'm going to try adding some different colors too. I'm not sure if those are really turning out well, but it is what it is kind of thing. It is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it now. And I do think I'm just going to wet these. All right, you know what? I'm not happy with that. I'm going to just try to smooth all of that out. I'm not happy with how that turned out. And I'm going to go and just try to make the bottom a little bit darker as well. Just give it some shading kind of thing. It might have been a little bit too dark, but it is what it is. I'm doing wet on wet, so it smooths out pretty well. Alrighty, I think that turned out better than not. I can always go back through the top of the cup and do more layers if I really want to. I'm gonna go and add some very light black layers below the ridges. Excuse me. I just burped. Ooh, excuse me. Burping. Be burping, bro. Too dark. Alrighty, perfect. And then I am kind of thinking if I'm trying to figure out if I want to do like shadows or anything like that kind of thing for this. I typically don't do shadows for my art, but I feel like since this is a kind of a more realistic try, I do kind of want to do some shadows or something like that kind of thing. I kind of am tempted to try to do a shadow for the cup. What am I thinking? Do I want it going so the shadow kind of starts like right there and then kind of comes down and then it starts like right, oh, let's see. So from the lighting I have right now, it kind of comes like down and around. I think you guys can see that. Let's see, can you guys see that? Yeah, you guys can see the shadow. I think it's a little bit of a different shadow than what I can see, but let's see. Let's get to the angle of the cup. Oh, move this out of the way a little bit. Okay, so it kind of, I'm just gonna put this on top of the cup real quick, and I'm just gonna kind of sketch where that shadow is. So the shadow starts like right here. It kind of comes, let's see, so it kind of comes like, is that right? It's right about, like a little bit above that, right about there. Just like that kind of thing. And then the other shadow starts where right there it starts, oh, I got some, that was a little bit wet. And then the other shadow starts like right, where did it start? Like right here. And that kind of comes down at like an angle like that. It's just kind of like that. Okay, I think I might do some shadow. I am going to erase these lines real quick. And just look at the marks on the paper that I've kind of indented. And use those as my basis. So let's go and try to do some shadow as well. Let's go and try to do some shadow. I'm not good at shadows, but I want to give it a go. And there we go. Alrighty. I think I need to kind of straighten out that line a little bit more. And then now I kind of want to fuzz it out a little bit. If I can. Alrighty, I'm thinking I'm going to stick with that. So that just goes off the paper. The shadow's okay. It's okay. I'm just going to deal with that, and if I want to make any edits to it, then I always can in the future. So there we go. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and just use the rest of the black and just go ahead and just go over the shadow just a little bit more kind of thing. Alrighty, and that should be all good. Alrighty, so now I'm going to go ahead and start putting on the red. Now, I do want to do a test real quick and just see how deep this red is. Yeah, that's a very, very, very light red, and that's the darkest red I have. And it's more like a pink. So this is going to be kind of like a pink-red solo cup. So that's just how it's going to turn out. I do want it to be a very deep red, though, so I'm just going to kind of slam on the red, and I think I'm not actually going to use this brush. I think I'm going to use a bigger brush. Although I am kind of tempted to use this small brush for everything. I do just kind of like to leave I think I'm actually going to use a smaller brush, yeah. I think I'm going to start with the bottom. Actually, no, that's a bad idea because this is still drying. So I'm going to start with the top, actually, and I think I'm first off just going to go ahead and start going over like this. And there's not really any different colors or anything like that kind of thing. It's all sort of the same shade of red and everything like that kind of thing, but I do think I might try to do a little bit of shading in all honesty. It's not realistic because that's not how it looks in real life, but I might try to do some nonetheless. But no, this is fun. It's a very fun doing something a little bit different than what I normally do. I normally draw like cartoons and stuff like that kind of thing. So it's really nice to kind of just do something a little bit realistic today, or at least attempt to, that is for sure. And I'm definitely enjoying doing this, that is for sure. It's definitely nice to switch it up every once in a while. This is very much pink, not red, is what it is. Pink solo cup, I suppose. I'm just going to leave that as is for the moment. And I'm going to go and do another layer on the, I think on this one right here. Just start at the top and I'm going to work my way down. And I almost forgot with this one. I'm definitely going to do another layer on this one and probably all of these, because I need to make sure I keep the brush stroke going in a like semicircle form, so the cup actually looks round, because if I don't do the brush strokes in a certain way, it's not going to look very good. So I definitely do want the brush strokes just look in a certain way. This is not a square, this is not a two-dimensional object. I need all the brush strokes going in a certain way, and that is my goal in today's video. Although I don't really care if any of the brush strokes go out of the cup or anything like that kind of thing. That's just sort of my style. I don't really care too much, but I definitely do need to make sure that the brush strokes keep going like this. It's just like painting. It's just like drawing with a pen, right? If you want something to look circular, you got to do circles. And is this dry? Yeah, it's dry enough for me to go over it. Alright. And what am I thinking next? This is kind of dry, so I'm going to go and do this layer next. Oopsies, I messed that up a little bit, but that's okay. And let's go ahead and do this one next. Just like that. Alrighty. So I'm thinking now I'm going to go ahead and deepen up like the upper areas of this to go along with the black. And I think that's going to be it for the red portion. I should have remembered to use a drier brush though. Is what it is. And I do think I want to do a second layer on some of these as well. I'm gonna let that dry and then I'm gonna try to do what I did again. Definitely gonna be going, I think actually for a second layer on these. These definitely need a second layer. Excuse me. I will admit though, I'm really enjoying this. I typically tend to do more cartoony stuff and stuff like that kind of thing, but honestly doing something like this is just so relaxing, and surprisingly so. I forgot how relaxing it is to just do that. And I definitely can't do this all the time, like doing this sort of like more realistic style and everything like that. It's just not something I can do all the time, but it is something that I do really enjoy doing when I do just feel like it. But it definitely is a mood. I kind of have to be in the mood to do art like this, that is for sure. I think I want to do one more. Yeah, there we go. Much better. Alrighty, there we go. I am thinking I'm going to deepen that up because that is a little bit lighter than the rest of the layers. Want them all being a little bit more consistent than not. Alrighty, there we go. And that's looking pretty good. I think I want to do one more layer on this one because this one's looking a little bit light as well. And then I think that's all I want to do for layers. For the moment, for actually layers for the entire area, I definitely want to deepen up the red in the top areas. But I think before I do that, I'm going to let the watercolor painting dry for a little bit. And I am going to go and handle the shadow, because the shadow definitely needs another layer. Way too dark. Whoopsies. Alrighty, that should be all good. Bet. So I think that's all good for the shadow. I am just going to do some touch-ups real quick. Just clean all that areas up, all those areas up. And there we go. Alrighty. Oh, and one thing I forgot to do the tiny one right here. I need to do that. I can't believe me, y'all. I can't believe me. I almost forgot to do one of the ridges. I cannot believe me, y'all. Alrighty, there we go. I definitely want to do like another line of gray or something in the middle, I think. I want to darken that up a little bit. So I'm just going to go and grab some black. And I'm just going to go like this kind of thing and then grab some water. And then I'm going to go and just start spreading all that out and just hope I can get it looking the way I want. I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, there we go. Certainly no complaints on my behalf. And I think next up, I'm just going to do one more layer of a very light gray if I can right there or right here. There we go. Alrighty. I'm thinking that's looking pretty good. It's definitely not my best art in the world, but I'm actually more happy with it than not. I ain't gonna lie, I am actually definitely a lot more happy with this than not. And it's definitely something a little bit different from what I would normally do, so hey, I can't complain, you know what I'm saying? I can't complain. I am still so tempted to put a face on it, though. Man, oh man, that was it for the water I had to drink. Whew. Alrighty, though, I think I just kind of need to let this dry for a minute. Is this dry? It's a little bit damp. That's, oh, whoopsies. Alrighty, so some of it is still a little bit wet kind of thing. I think I'm going to go ahead and try to really deepen this up real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and get my brush pretty dry if I can. I'm going to try to grab a bunch of the red and just try to deepen this all up a lot right here. Oopsies. It's okay. And I'm pretty much going to do that on every single layer where there's just a slight dip. Grab a bunch of red and go at it. Alrighty, there we go. There's the bottom 3 done, and now I'm going to go ahead and do the top ones as well. I don't want any water actually, but I do need more water right here because this has dried up quite a bit. Alrighty. And then I'm thinking one right here. Alrighty. And then I'm going to make this one just darker in general. Alright, and there we go. Alrighty, so I think I want to do another layer right there for the lip. And I think that's going to be it. Overall, though, what are my thoughts on this drawing so far? Overall, I am pretty happy with it. I do want to stick a face on it. I do want to stick a face on it, though, so I think I am actually going to stick a face on it when I'm going over this with pen. 100%. I really want to do that, so that is actually what I'm going to do, because I really want to stick a face on it. I think the face is going to go, I'm tempted to do it right here, but I want it to be top heavy, so I'm going to go for it right here, and then I'm going to add, it's just going to be a face. There's going to be no arms or legs or anything like that. And yeah, I think that's pretty much the plan. Alrighty, I think I'm going to go and do the black. Another very light layer. Just if I can kind of thing. Alrighty. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to do. Sweet. Not bad. I am now going to go ahead and dry off my brush. And I'm going to go ahead and stick it in this right here. Overall, what are my thoughts on this so far? I'm not the happiest with it, but it is something new. It is something new. I don't do drawings like this a lot. I ain't going to lie. So it is definitely more fun than not. This has definitely been more fun than not to draw, that is for sure. And I certainly don't mind having drawn it. Having watercolor painted it, but it's definitely not exactly to my preference, but I'm looking forward to seeing how it looks with pen, and I think I'm going to like it a lot more once I do put the pen over all of the pencil lines. This is how I tend to be. I tend not to really like the watercolor painting or the drawing or whatever I'm doing when I have it sketched in pencil, but once I see it in pen, I tend to like it a lot more, and I'm expecting that is exactly how this is going to be as well. Let's see, this is all dry. I'm going to go ahead and start with the bottom because it's all dry and this is all wet up here. So I am just going to go ahead and start with the bottom, and I think specifically I'm going to start with the bottom left side. I am, of course, using my Uniboss Signo 207 today. I really like this pen because the color comes through very, very, very distinctly, and that is something I like quite a bit. I really like a distinct color, and the black comes through very, very, very distinctly. No issues with the black coming through at all, and I really, really, really do like that. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I am probably going to be doing more than one layer for this drawing, though. I don't expect this to be the last layer of pen. I'm probably going to do 2 layers if I had to guess, just to clean it up. But this is just the first layer, which I certainly have no complaints about. you know, so far I'm actually liking it. I'm liking this a lot more now that I'm adding those the layers in there and everything. Is this wet? No, that's pretty dry as well. Okay, cool. I'm all good to do that. And this is still more wet than not, but this is more dry, so I'm just gonna go and do this too. Oh no. I should probably move my watercolor set because my elbow, I don't know if y'all can see my head, but I feel like y'all totally can. But my elbow was getting right there. I'm just going to lean over kind of thing so I can try to do this a little bit better. Got to be moving around when I'm drawing. Helps so much. I think this is all dry, so I could put my hand on this. There we go. It's not quite perfect, but it is what it is. And there we go. Alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and just start on the top now, because the top is pretty much all dry now. I didn't really lather the water on today, that is for sure. So definitely not doing that is helping this dry a little bit quicker. So certainly no complaints on my behalf. Alrighty, there we go. And that is all of the black lines all done. And actually, I know I was saying I wanted to put a face on it. Now I'm kind of thinking I don't. I'm actually really... Oh, no. Hopefully y'all can still see everything. I was just saying, though, because I just realized my phone is on 20%. I am real quick just going to grab a wire. Uh-oh. Not to listen to all of y'all, but to plug in my phone. But I do think I might not actually put a face on this. I know I was just saying... before I started with the black that I thought I was going to put a face on it, but no, I'm really happy with how this is turning out now, and I don't want to put a face on it anymore. I'm actually really happy with how this is turning out. I'm very... Oh no, I thought my battery was going to fall. You know, I'm really happy with how this is turning out. I really do have no complaints on my behalf, that is for sure. Man, oh man, I'm honestly really happy with this. I'm honestly really happy with this. Let's go ahead, though, and start doing the second layer of pen. I think I'm going to start top. I think I'm going to start on the top right here and just move my way down. And I think that's going to be the plan. I'm going to draw it a little bit of an angle. And I'm just going to start going over all of those layers once again. Just to make them just a little bit richer, a little bit darker, and a little bit more to my preference style-wise. You can still see everything okay? Bet. Alrighty. I think I'm just going to thicken up the bottom a bunch as well, just to make it really clear that this is indeed the bottom. Just to give the bottom of it some weight. Just want to thicken a lot of these lines up. And I think I'm going to go ahead and flip this over and just do the other side real quick. Can you see everything okay? All right, bet. Really should be working from the bottom, in all honesty, not from the top. So I'm going to go and start doing that. Oh no, did I? No, wait. Is that wet? I don't know. Hope not. Or the ink, that is, not the watercolor. How am I liking that look? I'm liking that look quite a bit. I'm going to do that. I'm going to keep doing that. Alrighty. And I think this is mostly done now. I think this is mostly done. Is there anything else I really want to do? I'm thinking, probably thinking this area up. Along with this side too. And do I want to add any shading with the pen itself? I'm kind of thinking I don't. I kind of like just how it looks on its own. And I think that's it. I think that might be it in all honesty. Just add some text, maybe? Yeah. Red Solo Cup. And there we go. It's all done. Man, wow, how long is this video? Almost an hour long. Wow. Well, I'm very proud of this. I was kind of unsure with how it was going to turn out about right when I finished the watercolor, but no, honestly, I'm really happy with it. I'm very proud of this. No complaints on my behalf. I don't do drawings like this a lot. I don't do art like this a lot at all. But no, I am actually very proud of how this turned out. I really do have no complaints on my behalf, in all honesty. Just some self-criticism. I guess I should probably go ahead and do some self-criticism. I'm thinking, what are my thoughts for some self-criticism, in all honesty? I'm just trying to organize this stuff so I can get a screenshot as well. Thoughts for self-criticism. I am kind of thinking I want to get better at shading. I'm definitely not the greatest at shading, that is for sure, and that is definitely something that I want to get better at. That is for sure. Shading is definitely something I need to get better at, and I'm not super happy with the shading, but I don't think it's terrible either, kind of thing. I don't think it's terrible, but I definitely do need to get better at it. Shading on the cup itself, though, I am decently happy with. I think definitely the lighter areas and the areas up here are some areas I need to work on. I definitely think those are areas that I want to work on in the future, that is for sure. It's just areas where I'm kind of like, okay, this could definitely use some work. But other than that, no, I'm pretty happy with it, in all honesty. I think if I'm going to do another watercolor painting a red solo cup, or drawing another red solo cup in the future, definitely going to put a face on it, in all honesty. Definitely going to put a face on it. But no, more so than not, I am very happy with how this turned out. And you know, I really do have no complaints on my behalf. There's definitely little things that I want to improve. I don't mind the lines going out like this or anything like that kind of thing. I really don't mind that. But I think definitely just the shading is definitely one big thing that I want to improve with this drawing, along with just the shadows and everything like that kind of thing. But I definitely do think that this turned out a lot better than not. And overall, no, I'm pretty happy with it. I really am pretty happy with it. Let me know in the comments down below what y'all's thoughts on this drawing is, on this watercolor painting is. Let me know if you guys have any constructive criticism. If you guys don't, just either way, let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought of this, watercolor painting right here. And of course, please make sure to like and subscribe for more content if you guys enjoyed watching me watercolor paint a red solo cup in today's video. If you guys did enjoy watching me watercolor paint a red solo cup in today's video, of course, please make sure to like and subscribe for more content. I have my Instagram, my book, my merch, my P.O. box, and my main channel all in the description down below. Go check it all out. But, you know, thank you very much for watching, y'all. To the next one, stay safe and peace. Have a great one. Yes, sir, you know what I'm saying?